We are coming live from Hawthorne Cougar Stadium, where today we have a Ocean League matchup between the Leuzinger Olympians and the Hawthorne High Cougars. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Goodman and I'm very glad to bring you this game today. We start a little bit late. Leuzinger's leadoff man, Vince Vagaris, started off with a single. And as of right now, we have one out, a runner on first, and up to bat is Ibarra. On the mound today for the Hawthorne High Cougars is Eddie Arcienega. He is usually a shortstop. He's a very good pitcher. Look for a changeup, fastball, and curves within his pitching rotation. So coming into this game today, the Olympians are 2-2 in league, while Hawthorne Cougars are at 3-1. Should be a great game with both teams still in the heap of things for Bay League title. Both are on the hills of Redondo, as was the case last year. Right now we have a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Arcienega with a look. Man's running. Tip, strike, and foul ball. Catcher did not catch it. Cougars are just coming straight off a tournament in Coachella where they placed 5th out of 16 teams. Pretty impressive showing for the Cougars. And Leuzinger, as we said, is 2-2 in league. They got off to a rough start at the beginning of the season, starting 0-5, but as the league has started, they're getting better. There's the pitch and foul ball. So we got a 2-2 count. Leuzinger looking to get on top right away. Great way to start off with the leadoff man getting on base. I will jot out the rotation and lineups for everyone right now. We have leading off, we have Newton for Hawthorne. And their ace, Larry Williams, is on first base. Superb pitcher for the Cougars. He's batting third. We have number 2, Franco, batting second for them. Salvatierra, the catcher, is batting 4th. And we have Lopez batting 6. Pitcher Arcienega batting 6. We have Sarabia, the DH, and Oropeza batting 8th. And 9th is Casillas. Ooh, line drive right up the middle. Caught. He's out at second. That's 2 down. Runner on first. Now the Olympians. Dorrell Wright is up to bat. Number 3. I might note, superb basketball player for the Olympians during the basketball season. He is the power hitter on the team. 6'6", tall guy. Pitches in. Bad swing by Wright. Didn't get composure with the lower feet right there. Didn't look like he was set too well on that pitch. Lost his balance. Run on first with a little bit of a lead off. Arcienega with no look. Pitches down. Pops it up. This should be an easy out for the Cougars. And that's it for the top half of the first. As it started off with a base hit for the Olympians, but nothing doing. So we're going to the bottom half with the score 0-0, Olympians and Cougars. We are back at Cougar Fields, folks. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Basically the same thing happened as the Olympians had in the first inning, where the Cougars led off with a single. We had Newton, I believe, leading off with a single. Ran it out down the first baseline. Great hustle. It was a real close play, and Newton ended up beating the play out. Up to about now, we have Franco. That is Fernie Franco. On the season, he has an average of 300 with 3 RBIs. We got a 2-1 count. Franco up the bat. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop plays it, no look at second, and guns it to first. And gets him out. So, Franco advances Newton to second, and we have one out with the Cougars' big gun up, Larry Williams. Pretty interesting, as you can see, Williams bats left, but when he's pitching, he pitches right. It's very odd in baseball to see, but you cannot knock him for it because it looks like a balk was called on the play. Williams went straight to first. That's not a bad move by the Olympians coaching staff, led by Joel Romero, head coach Joel Romero, the skipper of the club. As Williams leads not just the South Bay, but all LA County in RBIs. Superb stat to hold. So now we have the cleanup hitter, Salvatore, the catcher. Takes a look, whoa, almost hit him in the head. Got a little bit of the bat, so that's going to be a foul ball. On the mound for the Olympians, we have Ibarra. It's confirmed the call was a foul ball. So on the mound, we have Jose Ibarra. Coming in, he's 0-1 on the mound. But he does have an arsenal of a changeup and a curve. So we got a runner on second. Pitcher gives a look to second. Pitches in. Outside. Good eye by Salvatore. Salvatore on the season actually leads the Cougars in average with a .523 average. 44 at-bats, 23 hits. Superb season so far for the young catcher. Got the call on the outside part of the plate, so we have 2 strikes and 1 ball. Runners on first and second. Ibarra is giving that look to second as Newton is a speedster, as was shown on his first at bat where he outrun a single to first. Ibarra looks like he's keeping the pitches outside to Salvatore, which isn't a bad idea. Good Salvatore looking for that opposite field hit. So now we got the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitches in right up the middle, and he drills it deep. This could be going over the center fielder's head. And it is. It bounces, hits the fence. Newton's rounding home. One's coming in. Williams stops at third, and Salvatore has a double on the hit. Great power by Salvatore. As you could show, that's why he has that .523 average. That pitch was right up the meat market, right down the pipe, and Salvatore did take advantage of that one. So now up to bat for the Cougars, we have Lopez. That's Angel Lopez, number 15. On the season, he's batting .364. Pitches right up the middle. Did not get the call, though. Whoa, that one looked right up the middle. As we get a look at Ibarra, now we get a look at Lopez. Oh, it was called a strike. Sorry, folks. There's a ball on the play. Lopez batting left. We have a runner on second and third. Pitcher winds up. Outside. So it looks like Ibarra so far is keeping a predominant amount of his pitches outside. So we have 3 balls and no strikes. Hitter should be taken on the pitch. And he does. Ibarra did not seem to get a strike on the play. So now we have the pitcher for the Cougars up, Eddie Arcianga, who, when he's out on the field, usually plays shortstop. A superb shortstop he is. So now we have the bases loaded. That pitch is up the middle for a strike. So Barrow's getting ahead on the count this time, which could be a good idea. He's got himself in a little bit of a jam to start off the first inning. With the bases jammed. Pitches up a little bit high. Catchers nowadays, catchers at all levels are starting to come with new training techniques. I'll get to that in just a sec. Ciega looks at the pitch. And that one's up the middle for a strike. So we have 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded with 1 out, and we're in the bottom half of the first. Getting back to that, catchers nowadays are using jump roping as training. And he goes down swinging. So he's got 2 down, bases loaded. Ibarra can't get out of this mess with only giving up 1 run. Up to bat, we have the DH, Oro Saravia, for the Cougars. As I was saying, catchers are using jump roping techniques to frame the body better and get a good cardio workout. Seems like that do good, as catchers are doing a lot of vertically moving up and down throughout the game. A lot of upper and lower body movement. Got this pop up, and this one is not getting out of territory and fouls out with the bases loaded. So we're going to be going to the top half of the second. Cougars leave 3 men on base, but get run out of the inning. And the score is 1-0. Cougars over the Olympians. So leading off for the top half of the second for the Olympians is Beltran. He fouls off the first pitch. Arcianega, the pitcher for Hawthorne today, coming in at 3-1 on the season. As we've seen so far, he has a decent fastball. That one's right down the plate, but a line drive base hit to left field. So for the second inning in a row, the Olympians lead off with a man on first. Cougars this season, impressive as they came back with 7 starters from last year's team did return. So this could be a bright season for the Cougars. And Olympians, on the other hand, came back with a lot of starters too. That pitch is down the middle, and the runner stole second. He's safe. That is usually a tough task to do against Salvatierra, as he has a very cannon of an arm. Previous game against Morningside a couple weeks ago, he threw out 2 out of 2 runners, I believe. Boyden, number 4, is up to bat. Boyden, 5'11", senior. Got a 1 ball. Umpire stops it. So we got 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Olympians have a runner in second. Arciana gave it a look. Got a little bit of a lead off on second. And that's popped up to left center field. Both men are running for it. Left fielder makes the call. Superb defense by the Cougars. Olympians did not have a chance to tag up there. So now the Olympians have Carball, their shortstop, up. Arcianega with a look. And the pitch. Right up the middle, opposite field hit. Newton's looking for it, makes the catch. And once again, 2 straight plays in a row pop up. And Olympians runner on second was not able to advance. Arcianega has not got himself in too much trouble, as the farthest runner advanced so far is to second base. We're in the top half of the second, and the Cougars are leading 1-0 in this Ocean League matchup. So we have Ansman up to bat. Brian Ansman up to bat, the catcher for the Olympians. Marcinega with a look. And he goes back for the pickoff and doesn't get him. Very close, though. Beltran almost got caught sleeping over there at second. Good slide back to second to save him, Olympians from ending the inning with a pickoff. Ansman looking for the pitch. Down the third base line, should be easy out to. Oh, he just tags him out. Just running on the play. Might have stayed at second and made it a little bit harder to get the out at first. Well, that's going to do it for the top half of the second, as the Hawthorne Cougars are leading the Leuzinger Olympians 1-0. We're back in the bottom half of the second here at Cougar Field. Zora Pisa for the Cougars is up, number 22. Alijo Orpiza. Took the first pitch for a ball. And that one's popped up. Second baseman, right fielder, and the right fielder makes the call for the first out. So Barra starts it off with one man up, 2 pitches, and 1 down. And now Cougars have second baseman, number 11, Israel Castellanos up. Castellina fouls the first pitch off. Castellanos on the season has a .300 average, 6 RBIs, 9 runs, and he's 9 for 30 on the season. About .300 average. Marcinega with a look. Pitches in, and it's up and in for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cougars got that first run in the first inning to get on top, but they did strand 3 men on base. I'm sure they would like to get a few more knocks in there that inning. This one's grounded up to the shortstop. Oh, it bobbles the ball. Throw to first, and the call is out. Great hustling by Castellanos, but a step or 2 short, and that's the name of the game. When it comes to baseball, inches do count, whether it be the pitcher throwing to the plate or the runner trying to get on. So now we're back to the top half of the lineup as Noonan's up. As start the game off, folks missed it as a little tape delay. Noonan led off with a single. Noonan Day's 1 for 1. And talking to the coaching staff, Noonan so far this year has been the surprise of the team. And this one's opposite field pop up. First baseman with the easy catch. And that's going to do it for the Cougars on the bottom half of the second as a 1-2-3 inning occurred here. We're going to go to the top half of the third with the Leuzinger Olympians down 1-0 to the Hawthorne Cougars. Starting the top half of the third. And leading off is going to be Melgoza. Miguel Melgoza, number 25. Marcinega has the shutout going into the top half of the third with the pitch, and it's a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes to start off the top half of the third. Marcinega with the look, the pitch, and that's a called strike. Outside part of the plate, so we got a 1-1 count. Marcinega so far this game has kept himself out of trouble by getting ahead on the count so far this game. And that pitch this time did not catch the corner of the plate and is called for a ball outside. Good eye by Melgoza. Miguel Melgoza, the 5'10" senior. This pitch down the middle. Pop to the left field side. This one could be out the park, and it's gone. Miguel Melgoza. Wait, are they calling that a ground rule double? The coach is asking for a home run on the play. That did look like a home run. Ramiro's out, asking for the home run. It did look like a home run. have a little confusion on the play. So it looks like the Olympians are going to have to settle for a double on that play. So we're back to the top half of the lineup for the Olympians, and Vigueras is up to bat. Vince Vigueras, 5'10" senior. So the Olympians are going to have a runner on second. Once again, they have led off each inning with a runner on base. This time they have a man on second. Arcienega looking for the call. Cougars up 1-0. Vigueras, line drive up the middle. And it's going to bounce a runner to third and first base. So a single on the play for Vigueras. Miguel Magoza on the play didn't get the jump after the ball was line drive right up the middle. I think he thought someone was going to catch it for line drive out, but that was not the case. So he only advanced to third. So now we have no outs. Arcienega in a little bit of trouble with a runner on first and third. Olympians looking to tie it up or get a lead in this game, as they started off behind since the first inning in this crucial Ocean League matchup between these two rivals. Arcienega with the pick. Nothing going there. Magoza was up on that. Didn't have too big of a lead. Rattles up. Once again, looking again. Oh, going for the fake to third and looking for the pick at first, but nothing doing there. So Arcienega has got a runner on first and third. Runner leading off on third. That hit's going straight to third base. Nothing at third. Throw to first, and he's out at first. So no runners advanced, and one down for the Olympians. So now we're at pitcher Ibarra. Jose Ibarra, the pitcher, is up, batting third in the lineup. It's an impressive showing on the mound so far. Sorry, folks, a runner did advance. Second, we have a runner on second and third. One out, no strike, no balls. Top half of the third with the Cougars leading 1-0. Pitches in and goes down swinging with the strike. Talking to the Cougar staff, what improvement the Cougars staff would like to see for the team is a little more improvement at consistency at the plate. So far this game they've had a pretty good showing as they're up 1-0 though. Arcienega, the pitch, high kick. It's inside. 1-1 for Barr, the pitcher. He was saying that is an interesting technique in regards to catchers' off-season and season training when it comes to jump roping. You'd suppose more weight training, but catchers nowadays are incorporating jump roping in their training. And that pitch is outside. We're going to go to 2-1. So Arcienega getting himself behind in the count. Something he hasn't done too much so far this game. As I noted earlier, the Leuzinger Olympians lost their first 5 games. The majority of those losses were in an opening season tournament called the El Segundo Tournament, which tends to slate some of the upper echelon teams in the Bay League, Ocean League, and surrounding areas. But talking to Olympians coach Ramiro, he stated that he was very impressed with the team's outing in those games, as there were really no blowouts. And the teams tended to play hard in all the games. But in the league, they got a 2-2 record. And at this point, they're controlling their own destiny. So here we go. We got 3 balls, 1 strike. Arcienega looking for the pick at third. Basically keeping Goes in check over there, not giving him too much room. So you got the 3-ball, 1-strike count. Umpire stops it. Looks like they're going to give him a walk. So they're loading up the bases for the Olympians' big hitter, Darrell Wright, who leads the team in average this season. Just a situation Wright would look to get in. Bases jacked. Arcienega is going to have to be picky with the pitch selection. That one's grounded third. It's going to be an automatic out basically down at the plate. And the double play. So Olympians with not too good a base running right there. Sort of looked like they weren't aware there was 2 outs and they didn't just run right when the ball was hit, which is technically a basic rule. With the bases loaded, you're running on everything, pop up or not. So that's going to do it for the top half of the third, as once again the Olympians come out with no runs, and we have the Hawthorne High Cougars up 1-0 going to the bottom half of the third. We're at the bottom half of the third at Cougar Stadium. And leading off for the Cougars is Fernie Franco. And on deck is the big guns for the Cougars, Larry Williams and Tommy Salvateria. So Barr is going to have himself a little bit of a tough task this inning as he's pitching against the meat of the lineup, down 1-0. And the pitch is in. That's a pop-up to right field. Easy out for the Olympians. So let's see what the Olympians elect to do here. Last time, Olympians coach Joe Romero opted to automatically walk Williams. As I noted before, he does lead not just the South Bay area, but all Los Angeles County in RBIs with 33 whopping RBIs. Pitches down the middle. Big cut by Williams, but fouls it off. And I believe he's in top 10 home run wise. So Williams, only a junior, has a bright future lead the future for Cougar baseball here. Pitches in. Up high for a ball. As I noted before, Barr does not want to give too many good looks to Williams. He's a powerful pitcher. And check swing for a ball. So it's 2 balls, 1 strikes. Yes, and here in high school prep league action, we do play 7 innings. As in regards to the pros, where they go 9 innings, we're a little bit shorter of games, which sometimes does make it a lot more interesting. So we got a 2 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out. Barr with the pitch, and that one's grounded right up the middle. Looks for a base hit. Oh, a diving leap by the shortstop, and he almost grabbed it. So Williams gets on first with a single. It's a tough hit up the middle. But Ansman, sorry, not Ansman. Almost picked that off up the middle. So now we have Tommy Salvateria up, leading the Cougars with a .523 average. Superb catcher. Barr with the pitch. That one's right up the middle and doesn't get the call. So the Cougars looking to add on to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the third. Pitches up and in for a ball. Barr getting behind on the count. Hasn't shown too much of his off-speed pitch. Has been predominantly fastball so far this game. And the pitch is in. That's up the middle. Big cut. A little too ahead of it, and that's going to go foul. So Salvateria, the bottom half of the first, came up with that big hit deep to center field. Well, the center field is heading with a double on that play. Barr. Pick to first, nothing doing. Keeping Williams in check at first. So last inning, the Olympians left 3 runners on base. Basically plagiarizing what the Cougars did the previous inning before that. So both teams have left 3 men on base so far in this game. So now we have a 3-ball, 1-strike count, 1 out. Cougars have a runner on first. Also interesting rule in regards to high school baseball is a mercy rule. I believe it's 10 runs. If a team is ahead by 10 runs past, I think, the 5th inning, the game is called. And that doesn't look like it's going to happen here, though. It's just to note for future reference for fans watching high school baseball. So Salvatierra gets on base. The meat of the lineup for the Cougars. Both got on base. Now we got a runner on first and second. Barr putting himself in a little bit of a hole with only 1 out. And now up to bat is number 15, Angel Lopez. On the season with a .364 average, 12 RBIs. Looking to knock him in here. Add on to this 1-0 Cougar lead. Pitch is up the middle for a strike. So Barr gets ahead on the count. Pretty odd as Olympian shortstop is looking for that pickup as he's playing leaning to the second base side, leaving an enormous gap between the third base and second base. A lot of hitting room right there. Maybe he'll look to go opposite field. Pitches in, a little bit outside, and he swings for a strike. A lot of time the key in winning a ball game in high school action is what team performs best out on the field defensively. Pitches in. That one's up the middle. Once again, another pop up to right field. Right fielder calling it, and he's got it. No tag on the play. So runners are going to stay at first and second. And we're going to have 2 down. So, Barr looks like he get himself out of a little bit of a jam here. He's got himself in a little bit of trouble, but as of right now, only 1 run has been given up. And now up to bat, we have Eddie Arcianega. Cougars pitcher doing a superb job so far, giving him no runs, 3 innings. That pitch is up and away. With the 1-ball, no strike count. Arcianega, like I noted before, when he's out on the field, is a superb shortstop, a great glove. That pitch is up the middle, but it's going to be lined to the shortstop for an easy out. And that's going to end the inning here at Cougar Stadium, with the Hawthorne High Cougars leading 1-0 over the Leuzinger Olympians. So we're going to the top half of the 4th. We're in the top half of the 4th with the Cougars leading 1-0. Up to bat, right fielder Beltran, and he gets hit to start the inning off, and he takes it and jots to first base. Really didn't seem to affect him that much. So Guillermo Beltran, who's been pretty busy in right field, I think he's caught 4 fly balls so far this game. There's a majority of the Olympians out. So now up to bat, we have number 7 Boyden. Boyden, the 5'11" senior. Arcianega still working with the shutout, but is going to do his job and advance the runner to second. Sacrifices himself for an out. So we're going to have 1 down and a runner on second. And the Olympians are down 1-0. So now we have the shortstop, Carball up. Olympians coaching staff noted before the game that their strong asset of the team has to be their strong defense up the middle in regards to the shortstop and the second baseman. And Carball is part of that little 1-2 combination. First pitch is in for a strike. Fernando Carball, shortstop for the Olympians. 5'7", and he's only a sophomore, folks, so he still has a few more years here with the red Olympian uniform on. That one's inside for a ball. Got a 1-1 count. So that gives the Olympians a bright future with a great gloved shortstop like Carball. For Cienega, 1-1 count. That's for the call. Pitch is in. And it's grounded foul down the third base line. A little bit ahead for Carball. The Olympians still looking to get that first run in. They've had their scoring opportunities so far, but just have not punctuated the opportunity. Both teams looking for the winners. This is a crucial game, not just because this is one of the biggest rivalries in Los Angeles area, but because they need to stay in the heap of things in regards to the Ocean League race. And that one's grounded to the second baseman. Arciana comes over to cover first for the out, but that advance. Beltran to third base. So up to bat now is Ansman. Catcher Brian Ansman's up. Done a decent job behind the plate so far today. Ansman, the 5'10" senior. Takes the first pitch upside and high and outside. Sorry about that. Arciana doing a superb job on the mound today. Pitch is up the middle, swung on first strike. Arciana waiting for the call. Pitch. And that catches the outside corner of the plate for a strike. Pretty impressive for the Cougars to start off slow this season, but come back. That goes to show they do have a senior-orientated team. Because the majority of their team is seniors. It's a strong asset to present on the team. Great leadership. And that one was way low as it bounced about 3 feet before it even crossed the plate. So that's going to go for a ball, of course. We got a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Cougars leading 1-0 on the top half of the fourth here at Cougar Stadium. On the mound for the Cougars, Arciana. He's looking for the call. Pitch is up and in, and that's going to get us a full count with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. So that means Beltran over there at third is going to be running on anything. So once this pitch comes, the motors are running. And that one's popped up, looked like it's going to get outside the yard. Popped up foul. Williams was looking for it, but just didn't squeeze in the field. As you viewers could tell, there isn't too much foul territory here at Cougar Stadium, so I guess you'd be able to say it's a hitter's ballpark here. Although the center field fence here at Cougar Stadium does go pretty far out there. I'm not sure on the exact measurement. I'm sure it's in the upper 300s. So that one's popped up. Is this one going to stay in the yard? We will see. No, that's going out into the crowd. So Arciana looking to end this inning. Tough time here with Ansman. And Ansman has kept Arciana working for this out. Pitches in. That's up the middle. That's going to be grounded to third baseman. He's going to have to make a play. He bobbles it. The Olympians have just tied it up as Beltran came in for a run. And I guess that's going to have to be an error for the third baseman for the Cougars. There's going to be a count into a Cougars third baseman, Oropeza. So now we have a runner on first, 1-1 game. And that one's inside. Magoza takes it. Miguel goes up. Orsiana with the pitch. Takes that up high. Orsiana's going to have to be careful because last time up, Magoza got that double. As it did not get any runs the previous inning for the Olympians. But now they've tied it up 1-1. That's low for a ball. So Arcianiga is getting himself in a little bit of a jam as he has a 3-ball, no strike count with the runner on first. Magoza waits for the pitch. And that one's just called strike outside part of the plate. Magoza thought he had that ball 4. But the ump did not agree with him. It goes up. Pitches right down the middle. It's fouled away. So once again, we have a full count here for Arcianiga and the Cougars. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Catcher Ansman on first. Arcianiga with the pitch, runner's going, and that's line to left field, straight for an out. So that's going to end top half of the 4th with Olympians notching in a run. That makes the score Hawthorne Cougars 1, Leuzinger Olympians 1. As we go to the bottom half of the 4th, all tied up here at Cougar Stadium. Leading off for the Cougars, Oral Sarabia, pardon me. Cougars third baseman. And he hits this up the gap, left center field. And that's going to go for a single. So the Cougars lead it off with a runner on first. Sarabia, third baseman, is only a sophomore. That's a hit, another hit up the middle. And that's only going to go for a single as the Cougars started off with 2 singles with a runner on first and second. So the Cougars looking to get back on top. We have a 1-1 game so far. Been a hard-fought game by both teams. Coach Hines' Cougars looking to get a hard-fought Ocean League victory here. Up to bat now at the second baseman, Castellanos. On the season, he has a .300 average, 3 doubles and 6 RBIs. Has a chance to prove on that RBI total here with a runner on first and second. We got a change going on as we have a runner coming for the Cougars. That's number 30, Luis Molina. We got a pinch runner on. He's looking to Coach Hines is going to get a little speed over there. Pitches him. He was going for a bunt. He went for a steal right away, and he's going to get gunned down. Oh, he's safe. Whoa. And the Olympians do not like that call. Coach Romero's out there arguing that one. Is that he looked like he was gunned down. So once again, the Olympians did not get their call to go their way. So we did not have a double steer occur on the play, as we only have a runner at first and third. So we're going in 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at the corner. Bar on the mound. Coming in 0-1 for the year. Castellanos looking for a pitch, and he fouls it back. We got a 1 ball, 1 strike count, no outs. Cougars with runners on first and third. Coach Romero still a little livid over the call. Has the right to be, as he's had 2 calls not go his way. But that's the name of the game, especially when you're playing at the opposing team's home field. Ansman out. Give a little word to Barra. Castellanos looking for the pitch. Righty. Barra with the ball. Behind on the count, 3-1. And on deck, Cougars leadoff hitter, Newton. That's going to be popped up. Shallow right field. Another catch, and no one's tagging on that play. So Beltran, throughout the game, has had a lot of action out there in right field. Once again, makes the catch. Strong armed it down the field, and no one tagged. So Newton's up. The speedster Newton is up with runners on the corner. 1 out. Arcianiga with the look. Waiting for the call. Steps off. Ansman giving Arcianiga a call. Arcianiga with the look. Newton the righty up. And that's called strike. No balls, 1 strike on the count. So Newton on the season batting .404. Strike 2. Newton with the swing, nothing doing there. Newton, the junior right fielder, behind on the count with the 0-2 count. Swings at that one, he's a little late. That's the line. It could, no, nothing doing as first baseman almost had a look on a foul ball out, but a little bit too short. Newton with runners on the corner. Newton down on the count 0-2. That one's fouled out. Newton seems to be a little bit behind on the pitches. Have to pick up that bat speed a little. Get into fair territory and get some run production for the Cougars. As we're in a 1-1 game here in the bottom half of the 4th. Barra with the pitch. It's popped up the middle. Second baseman calls it, and runners are staying. So we're going down to 2 outs. Runners on the corner, 1-1 game. Bottom half of the 4th. Barr's pitch count is getting up there. He doesn't seem to be running out of juice just yet. Fernando Franco up the bat, better known as Fernie, junior second baseman. That pitch is up the middle. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Up high for a ball. Cougars still have runners on the corners. 2 outs. Barr with a look. Pitch. And that's popped up. It's not what Hines and the Cougars wanted. And that's going to do it with the 3rd out. And the Leuzinger Olympians escape without giving up a run. And the Cougars leave men on 1st and 3rd. And we're going to go to the top half of the 5th in a 1-1 game in a tight Ocean League battle between the Leuzinger Olympians and the Hawthorne High Cougars. Top half of the 5th. Olympians Cougars knotted up at 1. As we ended the bottom half of the 4th, Olympians did get out of that jam, and they were very enthusiastic as they had a team huddle. And this one's going to start off with a pop-up to center field. The center fielder's moving deep. Does he got a play on it? It looks like it, but he drops it. Big air. He's rounding second. Down to 3rd. Bobble by the short. And he's going to stop at 3rd base for a leadoff triple. So Cabrera starts off with a triple. Olympian shortstop. Dorado's up. Pardon me, that was Vigueros with that. So now we have Antonio Dorado up. Marcianiga for the pick at 3rd, nothing doing. Marcianiga coming in the game, 3-1 for the Cougars. Both teams are looking for a big victory here as they're both on the hills of the Redondo Beach High. Redondo undefeated in the league so far. And of course, last year they finished 1st in league. The Cougars right on their tail. Cougars are hoping the same destiny will not be in their fate this year. And they would love to bring home that Ocean League crown. So we got 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 game. Top half of the 5th. Here at Hawthorne High Cougar Stadium. Been a tight-knit game with both teams on numerous occasions leaving runners on base. Dorado looked for the bunt and he put the bat on it when it was nowhere near being a strike. So that's going to put him down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Antolino Dorado, the 5'9" senior. Looking for the pitch. Salvatore with the call. And that's a ball on the play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Arcelia looking. Pitch outside for a ball. So we got a full count. No outs, and it's a 1-1 game. Olympians looking to capitalize on the leadoff triple and get their first lead of the game. Arcelia with the pitch. Fastball down the pipe for a strike. Arcianiga gets a strikeout. The Olympians have one down with one of the big guns, Ibarra, number 11. Jose Ibarra, the 6'3" junior. Up the bat. Arcianiga looking for the call. Pitch down the middle, grounded over third baseman head. That's going to knock in the run, and the Olympians are going to go up 2-1. Vigueras comes in. So Ibarra gets the RBI with the single. And this is not the position the Cougars were looking to get in. Being down 2-1 in the top half of the fifth. With the Olympians. Big hitter, Darrell Wright, up to bat. Arcianiga nods off the first call. Pitches in. Fastball down the pipe, and Wright swings and misses. It's the second time this game he's looked off balance. Swing him. And I believe Ramiro noticed it as he's coming over to have a word with Wright. Gonna keep those feet set. Get the balance. Ramiro gives him the word. Wright's gonna step up back to the plate. Wright, the team leader in batting average. This 6'6" junior, as I mentioned before, superb basketball player. Some of the audience out there might have caught him in some basketball action this last year. Had numerous big games. Pitches in. He's swinging again. And he's lunging a little bit. The pickoff almost got him. Salvatore almost picked him off at first. Williams' tag was just a little bit late. As you can see on that play, Salvatore does have a big arm behind the plate. A no ball, 2 strikes. Arcianiga looking to get right. Cougars down 2-1. Pitch is a little low. Runner staying. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Darrell Wright. He's looking for the pitch. Arcianiga likes the call. Pitch is in. And that's going to be popped up out of play. There's a souvenir for a Cougar Olympian fan. Olympians. Getting a bar or a little jacket to keep them warm. It's a little bit of a breezy day here at Cougar Stadium, but it is beautiful. The sun is out. Mid-70s, a great day for high school baseball. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. Olympians Darrell Wright up to bat. Cougars, Arcianiga on the mound. Doesn't like the first call. Comes up with the second one. Be a fastball at the plate. Inside, he jammed him. And he pops up to the third baseman. So that's going to keep Olympians runner Ibarra on first base. With the Olympians' busy right fielder, Beltran, up to bat. His name has been called numerous times this game, as the majority of their outs for the Cougars have been hit toward the directions of Beltran. So Guillermo up the bat, running on first, looking for a pick. Gets back fast. Barr heads up on that play. Beltran grounds a little head on the pitch. That's going to go foul. So the Cougars are down 2-1. Arcianiga's pitch count is getting up there too. We're going to go right to a break, folks. We'll be right back. Back at Cougar Stadium. 1 pitch was called for a ball, so we got 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 1 run for the Cougars, 2 for Olympians. We got a base hit up the middle for Beltran. That's going to advance runner to second base, and Beltran's going to get to first. We got Vigueras, pardon me. We have a Barra on second, and Beltran on first. 2 outs. Olympians leading 2-1 here on the top half of the 5th. With Boyden up to bat. Charles Boyden, the 5'11" senior. Arcianiga looking to get out of this jam. Looks for the pitch. It's in. A ball called on the play. Arcianiga has kept his composure. Superb shortstop and pitcher for the Cougars. Boyden swings, little head, foul ball. Leuzinger with some superb uniforms this year. Nice look for the Olympians. Red and navy blue with the white pants. Showing support patriotically for the country. Not bad to see. And of course, you have the Cougars in their classic bright yellow and burgundy. Arcianiga, look. Looking for the pick at first. He might get him. Ooh, he's safe. Great pick move by Arcianiga. Boyden now has a 1-ball, 1-strike, 2-out count. So Beltran almost got caught snoozing over there. That wouldn't have been the way the Olympians wanted to end the inning. I'm sure Coach Romero would not have been satisfied ending the inning that way. Boyden steps out. As Arcianiga steps off the mound too. Boyden stepping back in. Arcianiga doesn't like the first call, doesn't like the second. Seems to tend to be calling off the off-speed pitches and going with the fastball. Ooh, that one's inside and it gets past Salvarado, and both men are going to advance. That was a third ball actually, so there was no stolen base on the play. Coach Hines is coming out with the bases juice. He's going to have a word with Arcianiga. We could have a pitching change here. I haven't seen anyone warming up though. Arcianiga, Salvarado. Salvatierra. Sorry, folks. Salvatierra after the word with Arcianiga. It looks like they're going to keep him in. So we have the bases loaded with the Olympians leading 2-1 on the top half of the 5th. 2 outs. And up the bat is the Olympians' superb shortstop, Cabral. And need a head on that pitch. Foul. So Fernando Cabral, as I mentioned before, a junior. Romero has a word with Cabral. Steps back in. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Both runners with a big lead on. Arcianiga with a pitch. And that one's inside for a ball. Salvatierra up on his toes right there. Great stop right there. Keep it from going, hitting the backstop and advancing the Olympian runners. Pitches in, and that's when it's going to be outside for a ball. So we have 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Not what Arciano wanted to do. With the bases loaded. Sorry, I think I mentioned first and second bases are loaded. That looks like it's going to be foul. Olympians bench jumped up on that one, but it just went foul. So we're going to have 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cabral looking to knock in some runs here for the Olympians and add to this 2-1 lead. Arciano looking to get out the jam. The pitch is in. It's a little bit outside. Salvatore with a pick. Woo! And he's safe. Salvatore thought he had him on the play. As you see, that is not the catcher you want to get too big of a lead off on. Williams was heads up and covered first and almost had the tag. So Arciano with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Pitches down the middle. Line in the center. The only plays at first. Is he going to gun him? Pitches in. Out. Beautiful fielding. Great defensive play for Franco. Prevents the Olympians from getting a run in. As we are now going to go to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the Olympians leading 2-1. So we're starting up the bottom half of the 5th. And the Olympians still have Ibarra on the mound. And up to bat is the the Cougars' leading hitter, Larry Williams. So the Cougars are starting off with the meat of their lineup up. This should be a great opportunity for the Cougars to either tie it up or get a lead on the Olympians as they are down 2-1 in the bottom half of the 5th. With Salvatore on deck. Pitches in, strike up the middle. So Williams takes that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. That one's up and high. Ibarra, of course, has to be real picky with his pitching selection, pitching against a superb hitter as Williams is. Olympians still waiting for the call. Pitches in, that's up the middle. Cut for Williams, goes foul. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larry Williams so far this year having a superb year. Jot out the stats. He has a .518 average, 7 home runs, 2 triples, 9 doubles, 33 RBIs, and 29 hits to top that off with 26 runs. The pitch is in. Williams takes it for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ibarra not giving Williams too many looks. Ibarra's done a superb job on the mound today. Williams with the opposite field line drive base hit. That one's going near the line, and he looks like he's going to stop at first. So Williams, 2 for 2 on the game with a walk. And Tommy Salvatore up to bat. This senior catcher leading the Cougars with a .523 average. 1 for 1 on the game with a walk.
Let's do it, Tom.
Olympian outfielders playing deep as they know the power that Salvatore possesses. As in the first inning, he hit a rope to center field over the center fielder's head. Salvatore starts it off by taking a pitch. Williams on first. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball with the pitch. That one's going to be popped up. Salvatierra was not happy with that. That's popped up to the center fielder, and Williams is going to stay at first. Up to bat now, we have Lopez, who so far is 0 for 1 with a walk. Angel Lopez, the senior, number 15. Lefty up the bat on the season with a 364 average, 12 RBIs. The pitch is up the middle, and that one's going to be popped up to center too. So 2 pitches, 2 pop-ups. And Ibarra looks like he could get himself out this jam with Williams still stranded on first base. And up to bat is Cougars pitcher, Arcienega. Well, the Cougars are down 2-1. You cannot knock the pitching performance Arcienega has had so far. Only giving up 2 runs, 1 unearned. That's going for a ball high. We got a 2-1 game here at Cougar Stadium. The Cougars do have someone warming up in the pen over there, so we could be looking for a pitching change after this inning. There's another ball inside. Sloppy throwback by the catcher. So Ibarra with the pitch. Arcienega up to bat. The pitch is in. And that one's outside. So Ibarra's falling behind on the count. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Williams on first. Cougars trailing 2-1 in the bottom half of the 5th. Pitch is in. And that's outside. So now, this is a familiar circumstance. The runners are on first and second, which the Cougars have had numerous times throughout this game. And now up to bat is the DH, Oral Sarabia, 306 on the season with 9 RBIs. This is a familiar sight as the Cougars have predominantly ended the innings so far this game with the runners on the base. Coach Hines and the Cougars hoping same circumstances will not occur this inning, as they would like to get both those runners home. Got a time. He's going to go out there and have a word with Ibarra. Catcher Ansman calling time. Sure he's giving Ibarra a word of wisdom. Sarabia, only a sophomore, and that's grounded. Is that going to stay fair? It looks as dribbling, and it stayed fair. And he guns him down at first. Looked like it was going to go foul, but a great defensive decision by Ansman just to gun him out at first. And once again, the Cougars leave 2 men stranded. So nothing has changed. We're going in to the top half of the 6th inning with the Leuzinger Olympians leading the Hawthorne High Cougars 2-1. Top half of the 6th, Olympians catcher Ansman up the bat. Starts it off with a rip to the shortstop, and shortstop's looking for a play, guns it to first, and guns him down. Ansman just didn't have the wheels to run it out, and another superb defensive play by the Cougars shortstop, Franco. Did a great glove over there. So it goes to show that even when Arcienega is not playing shortstop, they do not lack defense with him not there, as Franco steps it up just as much. The pitch is coming in, and Magoza takes it for a strike. So the Cougars coaching staff opted to keep Arcienega in. See how that works out. That pitch is outside. Magoza takes it for a ball. Miguel Magoza, the 5'10 senior. Pitches in. That's going to be Hit to the third baseman, a diving catch, and gonna gun him down at first. So Arsenega starting off with 2 outs. I'm sure he's hoping to keep that pitch count down as it's got it up there. It doesn't seem to be wearing down that much though. So we're going back to the top of the Olympians lineup. With Vigueras up. Number 8, Vince Vigueras, the 5'10 senior. Arsenega with a pitch. Off speed, and that's going to go for strike. Got 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. We're in the top half of the 6th with Olympians barely leading the Hawthorne High Cougars with a 2-1 lead. The pitch is in. And that's going to go low for a ball. It's been sort of hard to swallow for the Cougars so far as they have left 10 men on base. And that one's popped up as it looks like it's going to stay fair. Arsenega calls it, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for him. The Cougars giving up nothing, so we're going to go to the bottom half of the 6th. It's still a 2-1 game. Up to bat for the Cougars, Leo Oropeza. The juniors up to bat. He's 1 for 2 on the game. On the season, he's a .304 average with 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, and 6 runs. And the Cougars still have a bar on the mound. Pitch is in. And that's going to be fouled. First base side. So this is going to be a big inning for the Cougars as time is running out on the Cougars to produce a run and at least tie it up here. Pitch is in. That one's grounded straight up to the pitcher and going to get out at first. So Ibarra helps his own cause, catching the ground ball and getting the easy out at first. So now up to bat we have number 11, Castellanos. The second baseman so far is 0 for 2 on the game. This season he's batting .300. Ibarra with the pitch. And that's going for a ball. Castellanos, senior, second baseman. And he's going to take that for a ball. Whoa, a strike. That looked like it was inside. He's got 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom half of the 6th. Cougars down 2-1 Olympians. Pitch is in, and that's going for a ball. Jose Ibarra so far has pitched a phenomenal game. The 6'3" junior, and that looks like that one's going deep to the gap in left center field. He's rounding second. Looks like he's going to go for 3. Nope, he stops it at second. So, second baseman Castellanos gets a hit on the play. 1 for 3 on the game now. And up to bat is a Cougars speedster, their leadoff hitter, Paul Newton.
Do it now, Paul.
Superb right fielder for the Cougars. Newton on the season with a .404 average, 10 RBIs, 6 runs. He's looking to capitalize on that RBI production right here. Ibarra looking to keep his composure. Runner on second. Pitch is in. It's right up the middle. Runner staying on second. Throw to first, and Newton's gunned down at first. So the Olympians get 1 down here on the 6th after the leadoff double by Castellanos. Great check off by the Olympians shortstop. Cabral's played a superb game at short. Barr looking in. Pitch. Called strike. Up the bat for the Cougars is Franco. Fernie, as they like to call him. On the season batting .300. Takes that for a ball. It's got to be gut-wrenching for the Cougar team and staff with all the runners that have been left on base this game. Barr checks the second, ground up the middle. Good glove by short and throw it out to first. So, once again, Barr gets himself out of a jam. Ending the inning with another ground ball to Cabral. Cabral makes a nice play, and that's going to do it. We're headed into the 7th and final inning with the Leuzinger Olympians leading the Hawthorne High Cougars 2-1. All right, we're in the top half of the 7th. Olympians leading the Cougars 2-1. We got a pinch hitter in. Bettis. So the Olympians opting for Michael Bettis, the 6'1" junior. Taking Dorado's place. He takes that for a ball. And not look like a good pitch for Arcienega. As we see 2-1 Olympians leading here at Hawthorne High Stadium. Bettis looking to get something started for Olympians here in the top half of the 7th. Behind on that pitch, fouled it off, first base side. So the Cougars once again last inning stranded a man on base. And it could come down to the big bats next inning, as the Cougars have the meat of the lineup up next inning. Starting off with Williams, Salvateria, and Lopez, and could go farther than that if they get some production. Bettis takes that one for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bettis looks for the pitch. Arcienega winds up. Good rip by Bettis, but a good defensive play by the third baseman and guns him down at first. So Oropeza makes a nice play. Digging up that hard hit, ground ball. So now up to bat for the Olympians. Their superb pitcher, Jose Ibarra. Takes the first pitch for ball. Ibarra on the game's 1 for 2. And no need to speak on his pitching performance so far, as he's only given up 1 run. It's a strong hitting Cougar team. Arcienega with the pitch. That's going to be grounded up the middle. Could be a tough play. Running down, grabs it. And Ibarra runs it out for a single. Ibarra's 2 for 3 in the game. So the Olympians looking to add on to this 2-1 lead. Hopefully giving Ibarra a little bit of a comfort zone going into the 7th. And up to bat is their cleanup hitter, DH, Darrell Wright. Darrell looking to get his first hit of the game. Arcienega is 3-1 on the season. Looks in for the call. Winds up. That one's inside. Hit deep to left. Looks like it's going to be played, and it's caught. No tag up on the play, so Darrell Wright so far in this game 0 for 4. And now up to bat, the very active right fielder, Beltran.
Guillermo Beltran, the right fielder.
Yeah, one of the Spars. That's a superb game. 2 for 2 in the game. One hit by a pitch, pardon me. So we got 1 out. Beltran up. Arcianega on the mound. Pardon me, 2 outs, folks. Arcianega on the mound. Winds up. Pitches up the middle. Hit hard to center. The Cougars going to get a play on it, and they do. So that's going to end the inning. We're going to go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's crunch time now, folks, with the Leuzinger Olympians leading the Hawthorne High Cougars 2-1, with the Cougars' heart of the lineup coming up. So we're here in the bottom half of the 7th inning in a phenomenal Ocean League grudge match between the Hawthorne High Cougars and the Leuzinger Olympians. Cougars down 2-1 with the heart of the lineup coming up. Leading off is their star pitcher / first baseman, Larry Williams,
Hey, I'll sing if you hit one.
who leads all of Los Angeles County with 33 RBIs. He's looking to start something off for the Cougars here. Still on the mound for the Olympians is Ibarra. He's pitched a phenomenal game so far. He's looking for this complete game. 1-run effort. And on deck, of course, Tommy Salvatierra, strong arm catcher for the Cougars. First pitch coming in. And it's down the middle for a strike. Williams looking. The lefty. Bar looks. Pitch is coming in. And that's right up the middle. So Williams putting himself in a hole. No ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Bottom of the 7th, Cougars down by 1. Pitches in. And Williams is going down swinging. Big strikeout for Ibarra.
Let's go, Tom.
That is not what how the Cougars wanted to start off this 7th inning. You feel a sense of urgency here, folks, as the Cougars are down to their final 2 outs. Salvatierra, as noted before, leads the Cougars with a .523 average. Ibarra with a pitch. That's up and in. Tommy takes that for a ball. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Pitches in. And that's high and away. So Ibarra's falling behind on the count with a 0-2 count.
Let's go, T.
Tommy's looking for that right pitch. The pitch is in. Ooh, he called the inside strike. The Blues called that a few times this game. He's called that inside strike on a few occasions. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that one's low, so we're going 3-1. Olympians up 2-1.
I need you on base, kid.
Bottom half of the 7th. Barr taking his time before he enters the mound. We get a shot at the shortstop. Great glover for the Olympians. Pitches in. And that's low, so Tommy's going to get on base. Salvatierra gets on base with 1 out. And coming up to bat for the Cougars, number 15, Lopez. Cougars bring on a pinch runner. Number 3, Ricardo Gonzalez, the senior for the Cougars.
Swing at good pitches, Angel.
Angel Lopez is up. Barr looking for the call from the staff. lefty Lopez. See lead off, and that's going to go outside for a ball.